1 Corinthians 2 and 12. But now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Right, because it's a foolish thing for you to, you think you're a dork when you're smart, according to the Bible, according to the scriptures. This was, we look like dorks still, nerds, crazies, Bible thumpers, whatever. But that's why the scripture said that the Spirit searches out all things. That's how we know, again, that's how we know there's a difference. That's how we know that there's a group of men and women and children that disagree with this. It's foolish to you. And we search out all the Spirit is what searches out all things. That's how the Spirit searches out your works. All right, it knows what kind of it discerns you even before it sees you. That's how we brothers, man, we have the spirit of discernment. So we can look at your countenance and we already basically know what you're about. We already know how you're coming. We know what your motives are. The Spirit is what gives that to us. The Spirit revealed that to us, not our own flesh. The true Spirit. The wisdom that the Most High, like the one that said earlier, you understand it, then you receive it, then you apply it. All right, we apply in daily lives all the wisdom that we receive. And we continuously renew our minds through that wisdom. We're constantly searching out more and more things that the Most High is revealing unto us.
I'm going to read it again. 1 Corinthians 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. Right? And that he's going to have to, he has to actually sit down now and exercise his brain. Meaning that he has to break down and read and understand words, go to the root words, understand the Hebrew, when it's so much easier to be like, you know what, I want to just be in the world and look and see and touch, smell and taste, rather than handling the Word of God and exercising his brain. And now a lot of people say, man, that's too much to read. I look at that book and I'm like, man, it's a lot. Stop looking at it like that. You know? You don't think a baby, when a baby's born and starts using its eyes more, you don't think he sees a big ass world? That baby knows that he can only go through so much and walk through so much.
You're recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Hey, God bless you, brother. You keep it up.
All right. But that's how a little baby is. You know, a little baby, he sees a big world and he wants to go out there, but the parents are there to restrain and to guide and to teach and to give him get that one in 1st, 2nd Peter to chapter 2. And it gives him the things that it needs at that moment and it's time. It don't give him the whole platter. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all do. Y'all look at things like, dang, that's too much. Oh, but if a motherfucker gives you a bunch of goddamn pork on a plate, that ain't too much. You'll eat all that shit within 10 minutes. Tortillas, chile, pork chops, tripas, all that. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 2. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word.
Desire the sincere word of the Most High. That's the milk. So you gotta get a little bit, here a little, there a little, you know? But you know who you're gonna be, who you wanna follow. You can't be in the world and be like, oh, well, I want a little bit here and a little there. You gotta be in it, cast away the old man, exercise that, and push the world out your mind. But all the time when you come to the scriptures, you can't just pick it up and start reading it like you're gonna receive all that knowledge immediately. It don't work that way. You get a little bit here, a little there, a little. That milk, the basics. Go ahead.
It says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby.
That way you can grow thereby. Then you can read like 2 or 3 chapters. And then when you start growing more, you can read a whole book. Right? You can read like 10 chapters. You know, you're exercising your spirit, and you're shutting down that carnal, because your eyes. Like when I first started reading the Bible a long time ago, I remember as soon as I would start reading, I would get sleepy. But then as I continued exercising my spirit, I was fighting that flesh. That flesh was obeying me. It was what I decided to do, the flesh had to follow. When I told it it was ready to sleep, that's when it was ready to sleep. Not when the flesh was telling me to go to sleep. Go ahead.
It says, I'm gonna start again. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. And so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious.
Then you'll know the Lord is gracious, because then you're gonna start looking at it and say, like, dang, you know, I see things in a different light. You're brought out of the matrix, you know. Now you're seeing the world for what it really is. Now you're seeing the truth. According to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know. But the natural man can't receive them things because it was never meant for him. He was too lazy, too carnal, you know. He didn't like the fact that he was going to be restrained by the law, statutes, and commandments. He had to bind them around his neck and his fingers and put on the armor of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. And I, brethren, cannot speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Christ.
Yeah, we give you allegories, analogies, metaphors, using symbolism to help you relate or to understand. It's like we Yahushua spoke to them in parables, you know? To use those things to help you understand.
I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it.
Right, you can't. Like when I first came out here, I was preaching on the image. Me and his brother, when we first stepped out here, we were speaking on the image of Yahweh Shai. That's a basic. That's easy to get people to understand. But you can see the power on just how many people will be offended. That will be offended that we're denouncing and casting down that image to the scriptures. When the Bible clearly tells you that believeth on me as the scriptures speak, as the scriptures are written and say of me. You bring on those scriptures and you go to Revelation chapter 1, Daniel 7 and 9, and then people have a problem with that. You know? But those are basics, and you go to those basics and you grow thereby. And you start jumping into harder things. You know? But that's what saved us. You know, knowing that we were the chosen people of the nation of Israel, that the 12 tribes of Israel are still on the earth. You know, that's what basically drew me in. So every man has his own little testimony. But like I said, a carnal man can't receive none of this.
It says, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able.
Hey, y'all still can't bear it, man. But we're gonna still speak it. Get Sirach 3 and 11. The spirit, like it says in Timothy, the spirit speaketh expressly in the latter days, man. And that's what brothers get in detail. Brothers bringing out information. You know, some brothers are very talented. They can break down the whole subject that's based off the, you know, a CIA or the FBI or something like that of that nature. You know, brothers are really being diligent. You know, some brothers are here, there, little. They got a little bit of herb, a little bit of meat. You know, or you know, vice versa. But we're all contributing and adding unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's, you know, government or the building. We're building the building process. Amen. 3 and 11.
Sirach chapter 3,
4 and 11.
Okay. Sirach chapter 4, verse 11. Wisdom exalted her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. He that loveth her loveth life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory, and wheresoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One. And them that love her, the Lord doth love.
But if you ain't got the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you can't be no priest to him. All right? And that's recorded in Hosea chapter 4. Go ahead.
Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generations shall hold her in possession. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways.
And that's what us brothers, man, we're hoping for. That our children are going to be delivered, and that we're going to continue this legacy. We're going to continue Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's legacy. We're going to be taken up into the chariots, and we're going to receive, you know, blessings and be crowned with a beautiful crown of victory. And we're going to be blessed because we retain wisdom, the spirit of wisdom. Go ahead.
For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws.
And that's what a natural man can't deal with that hell, man. Like, damn, it's too hot in here. So what happens? He falls out. You can't deal with the mocking, the scoffing. You can't deal with the fact that his family's hitting him up, targeting him. You know, he loses his wife, his kids. Yeah, he can't endure it. You know, that's what happens, man, when you come in to serve the Lord as a babe. And then that moment, you're born like Neo, like in the movie Matrix, when Neo was in that little that compartment. He was all bald with no hair, and he was, you know, in that little pod, that compartment with fluid. He was basically reborn. And he had to relearn all over again the right way, the new way. You know. But what happened when you watch it from that point on up, what happens? It becomes mightier and mightier. He has the spirit of discernment. He can tell when there's an agent around, when they're not even manifested yet. He knows when they're coming. That's all the elect. That's what the elect are going to receive, spiritual powers, man. But if you can't deal with that discipline, that chastisement, then what? You're going to cast it off. That's why it's not made for a lot of people. This truth coming into to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is a rough and hard thing. It makes you a hard man. It makes you rough. It makes you to where people don't want to be around you, man. That's the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, because nobody wants to be around the Bible because it's rough. Because it's just cut and dry. That's it. There's no motherfucking but, if, what, maybe, none like that. It's fucking, this is what it is and nothing else in between. Yeah, there's exceptions, but that's why the scriptures speak for himself, and it says that he's an austere man, morally strict, bitter, angry. And people in America are a bunch of children. They don't like that. They don't like to be chastised. Wisdom, that's what she's gonna do to you. Read that part again about wisdom.
Said, for at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways.
So she's gonna try you, man. She's gonna test you, see what you really are, see if you're really about it.
And bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline.
And I just named a few. By what kind of fear? Taking your family away from you. Your family's gonna turn their back against you, turn against you. Your friends. It's gonna seem like you were better off in the world than you were now. But that's what the Israelites were saying at the time of Egypt when they were brought out of the house of bondage. That they were saying they were better off being in Egypt, where they said to Moses, "You brought us out here to die in the wilderness when we had everything in Egypt." But that was because they couldn't bear wisdom. They couldn't bear the promise of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai that was spoken already with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So what happened to them? They died in the wilderness. It's the same thing now, man. You gotta overcome that. You gotta go through that birth canal. When a baby's about to be born, you think it's easy for it to come? It's a struggle for her to come through that, he or she to come through that canal. And once it comes, what happens? It takes its first gasp of air and it's crying. You know? It made it through. It's alive. But that's you people, y'all give up. Y'all want to stay back. Y'all want to go back into that little cocoon and stay in the spirit of slumber. And that's where y'all stay at. Y'all are like an egg that's never going to hatch. They're just waiting to get stomped out by a lion, a bear, elephant. You know, people are weak, man. People are foolish. Like the Lord said, selfish children that don't know me, that don't know how to do no good but work evil. Go ahead.
It says, see, and she will bring fear and dread upon him and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him.
Then she'll return and return the straight way to you. Go ahead.
And comfort him and shew him her secrets.
See? You think the Most High is gonna give you and hand you shit? You gotta go through the fire, man.
But
you gotta make it through that out that matrix.
It says, but if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin.
Yep. If he what?
It said, but if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin.
Give you over to your own ruin, man. So there's no more protection. There's no more security from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because we all trying to get security. You know? But the true security is the scriptures, is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. That's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, who you eagerly call Jesus Christ. Right?
Let's see. Yeah, so, but if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin. I don't know. Sirach chapter 6, verse 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, and thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon.
All you gotta do is repent. That takes a lot of strength to do too. You fall on your knees in your own private, in your own time, in your own home, in private. You fall down. You confess. You repent. Repent for your sins, everything that you done contrary to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You ask forgiveness for the forefathers. You know.
It says, she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her.
Yeah, see, understanding will get you killed. Like I said, you can't play that ignorant card. It's better that I should not die. You're still gonna be judged though. You're still gonna die. The Lord ain't gonna look like, damn, that was wise. That was wise of him. I'm gonna save him. How many people want to? There's a lot of people in the world that want to just get themselves out of a situation, so they don't say nothing. They don't get involved. That's why the Lord said, who's going to stand up for me in them days against the evildoers? Who's going to stand up for me against the evildoers in them days? Because he knows how you men are, man. A bunch of cowards.
She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her off, and he will cast her from him ere it be long. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many.
For she's not manifest unto many, man. It's like I was saying. Most High in the book of Sirach tells you not to have consult not with the coward. Yahweh Shai ain't gonna consult with no cowards. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna fucking move that out the way. You don't care how you got a six-pack, you work out every day, you have all the talent in the world. He's gonna move you out the way. He's going just like Wisdom of Solomon. He said, out of 1,000 men, I found but one. So he's just moving them through, passing them, pushing them on the forehead. They're all smiling, Yahweh Shai, and getting fucking pushed in the head, not even knowing it. But the Most High ain't even dealing with it. Thinking because they take care of themselves, their health, their bodies, or because they got good jobs. Like I said, anything that consists of the world that's deemed as good, that the Lord ain't looking at that, man. The Lord is looking at what's inside the man if he has faith. Read that part again.
It says, she will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere it